Got all kinds of folks in with us today.
Yes, we have quite the crew today.
Yeah, we do.
So good morning, it's Wired Wednesday with McKenna Hansen. I am Farm Bureau Financial Services. Today in studio we have Jeremy Larkin of the Larkin Group, KW down in St. George, and Jesse Paul. And we're doing some cool stuff on Facebook today. I've finally learned through these guru guys how to stream the Zoom meeting live and record everybody. So
That guru guy.
yes, that guru guy.
Hey, Jesse just got his first cell phone last week, so why don't you just chill out?
It's a flip phone, right?
Oh, man.
I'm ready to go back to a flip phone.
Look,
I
flip
missed.
phone's better. Flip phone, you could get your life back with a flip phone.
Oh my gosh, right?
I told my kids and stuff, once I'm done with doing this and more into the casual lifestyle, the smartphone is being thrown away.
Oh my gosh, we just,
Amen.
And I'm going back to the flip phone.
the technology, right? The technology.
And they're saying, well, what would we need to get a hold of you? And I go, I don't know, here's an idea. You can call. You could call.
Right, call.
You could actually call. 'Cause the
You don't
flip phone-
call, you don't visit. Yeah.
Come see me. Yeah. Like
How dare you want a
face-to-face
phone
works
call?
perfect.
So today we are talking real estate. These guys are the experts. They are my go-to team when I have real estate questions and I want to know what the market's doing, and most importantly, who's doing what with the market. In the last 6 months, we've had crazy market increase, market share, lack of inventory, and all of these things that we've gone over before. But really today, I have been hearing so many people say, well, I'm just going to sell my house myself. I can't get real estate agents to give me a call back. I don't think I can get, I can get so much more without a real estate agent and those kinds of things. Well, me and Jesse and Jeremy were talking, and let's really tear that apart of why you need a professional, why you need a real estate agent in not just real estate agent or real estate, but why you need professionals, licensed professionals going forward in any of the different transactions you have.
Jeremy, you want to tackle that? I have my
Jeez, I
opinion.
feel like we just went straight to the jugular.
That's what she does.
Sorry.
Did I not
Yes,
warn you?
yes, I'm very
So, no,
straightforward.
well, here's the deal, and so happy to be on here. And I love Cedar City, and we said that we come out of the big city, which is what they call Saint. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry, did you mean Utah's Dixie?
Yeah, Utah's Dixie. By the way, bingo! I love it, dude. With the whole sinister, evil villain audio clip. So maybe I'd preface it this way. So we've actually been doing a live radio program for, holy cow, 9 years. So that when we started running our program, it was 2012. I cannot believe that. So 9 years, I think we've done 400 shows about the real estate market. And we've never done one about Cedar City. Now we talk about Cedar City, and I grew up in St. George, but grew up coming to Cedar City, going to West Side. I loved,
really?
Yeah, it was fantastic. Well, because my aunt and uncle, Barbara and Stan Shakespeare. So
Okay.
let me name drop them for just a minute, because the old Cedar City folks do care about Barbie and Stan. Lovely day is what we call Stan, because it was always a lovely day. Here's what they did, man. They're traders, man. Like they turned on Cedar City and moved to St. George a couple of years back, about a year ago. So they now live in St. George, and it just works for their life. But this is a really fascinating market, and here's what's most fascinating about it, and what Jesse and I talk about. So because this is a setup to answer McKennan's question. What's fascinating is that Cedar City has taken a turn that actually mirrors the exact turn that St. George has taken in real estate, right? So the prices aren't the same, are not the same, are not the same. The landscape's physically and geologically and different, but the turn that Cedar City's market has taken is actually identical to St. George. And the reason I know this is because I'm working with Sunwood Homes. Sunwood Homes is one of our big clients in St. George. They're a new home builder. Sunwood's coming to be doing some really cool projects here in
Which
Cedar.
we're so excited for,
Yeah.
by the way. I love those guys.
Yeah, so thank you. So do we. Plus, they make me money. But we've been doing the research on this market. And I said, guys, I sat at the conference table last Wednesday and said, it's like the exact same pattern. Like if you look at it, graphically, it's the same kind of up and down. So I hope that sets up who we are and what we're about. And Jesse's my business partner, been with me a long time, 6 years. And so the question is asked, Jesse. Well, why don't I answer the question by asking a question? Could someone sell their home on their own?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Could someone buy or sell stock on their own. Sure. Could you?
And let me.
You could. I want to nail that down, right?
And let me phrase it, because in today's, obviously, this is a seller's market right this minute.
Mhm.
So in today's seller's market, they will probably even make some money, right?
Absolutely, without a question.
But how much money do you want to make is
Yeah.
the bottom line.
Yeah.
And my answer is all of it.
Yeah, you want all the money.
And that's kind of why they do what the thought process, right? But the question is are you getting all of it?
And I actually said that because I know that, because we're not trained, that we'll probably leave money on the table.
How much money do you think you leave on the table selling your own house? In a percentage, how much do you think you leave on the table when you don't use a professional?
Jeremy, I'll yield to you.
So there used to be all sorts of data on this. National Association of Realtors, which, do you think they're biased? They're
Well,
biased.
slightly.
So here's the fun part. I think this is the fun part about listening to us on the radio in St. George.
Is that on our friendly sister station?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
890 AM,
We
94.9
we
FM.
refer to KDX, forget you. So
Yeah, that's right. I
So
like
they have
that.
they have the Thursday
Well,
morning drive.
I always wondered, Tim, by the way, you have such a great radio voice, and I always wondered who you were, but now I know. It's so great. Anyway, it's so fun. So keep it up. You should get into radio.
I should.
And here's what I think is fun. Look, call it a shameless plug, but this is why our program's popular. We just tell the truth.
Yep.
So notice I've already teased that NAR. Okay, that's not the NRA. That NRA, that's National. This is NAR. National Association of Realtors have a biased stake in telling you that you should hire a realtor.
Yeah.
Like they have the side of public transportation in St. George. We actually have buses down there
Yes.
that say hire a realtor. Well, of course that's what they say. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Well, come on. So they used to say that 6 to 8%. I would actually say that's probably true, meaning difference between a realtor transacted sale and a consumer, a private sale, like a for sale by owner.
Here's why. Because the seller is trying to save the commission, right? Well, also the buyer
Yes.
That's their thought process too. Well, I'll just go to a for sale by owner and I'll save the commission.
Correct.
I'll get a deal.
Yes.
So they're both trying to save it. And they both can't have it.
Yeah, that's true.
There's not enough in the pie.
So this is so fun is what we would do is sometimes when I go to an appointment with a for sale by owner, I'd pull out when I used to have bills in my wallet. I don't carry how much cash my dad does. My dad has a putting green and he says, let's putt for quarters. And he's like, you don't have quarters. I said, I don't have quarters, Dad. So this is literally 48 hours ago. We were just thinking this putting green. And I'm like, Dad, I owe you. But I would often take a bill out and say, okay, McKinnon, you hold on to one side, I'll hold on to one side.
Yes.
Let's see who gets this.
Okay.
So, well, either you tear it from my hand, or I tear it from your hand, or what's the third option? We tear it in half.
Yeah.
Right.
Doesn't work very well, right? So Jesse makes such a valid point. So today's program, by the way, is not don't for sale by owner. It's simply you asked a question, and we also want to talk, please, if we can.
Yes.
We want to educate the fine people of the community about what's really happening with the real estate market, right?
I would even say, Jeremy, right now in a seller's market, they're going to lose more than 6%.
Correct. This is the weird part.
Oh, explain that to me.
You just set this up. Here's why. So where are all the buyers coming to Cedar City from? By the way,
Outside of Southern Utah. Everything's
Correct.
coming into Southern Utah. So we are not even dealing with our normal median income, normal type people here. Everybody's coming in from the outside.
Yeah.
So there's a super influx of money.
right. Okay. So such a great setup. Man, you guys are great. And by the way, there was no discussion before we got in here. We were actually just playing on
That's the
Zoom.
way we roll.
Oh my gosh.
We never.
So I want everyone to know there was no pre-meditation there. Jesse premeditates a lot of his life. This just isn't part of it. So if the majority of these people are coming in from out of state, or certainly out of town, and by the way, I know they are, there's an article that came out about maybe 6-8 months ago now titled Zoom Towns. and it was about places like Cedar City and Moab. And the reason I'm referencing Cedar City and Moab is they're definitely towns and they qualify as cities, but it's not St. George, right?
Yeah.
So,
For which we actually thank you.
so do
We're very
I would
grateful.
too.
Although I wouldn't mind Costco.
Yeah.
Keep-
I would,
sorry.
no, I
Oh,
would, but
stop with the cost, don't you stop.
yeah, no, but for us it's Trader Joe's. But guys, but I agree, by the way, I really do. It's like we have this strange catch-22. The growth is what fuels our business, yet we don't really like the growth. So it's a weird thing. So here's where I'm going with this. Zoom towns is what it sounds like. It's places like Boulder, Colorado, Moab, Utah, Cedar City, Utah. And what happens is all these people said, well, I have to work on Zoom. Wait a minute. If I have to work on Zoom, so watch this progression. You have to work on Zoom. The progression becomes, wait, I get to work on Zoom, or I can work on Zoom. Well, wait a second. If I can work on Zoom, I don't even have to go back to the office. If I don't have to go back to the office, I don't have to get on the 55 or the I-5 ever again in Southern California. You
Right.
watch how this progression goes.
Yes.
So wait a
Exactly.
minute. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just move to Cedar City. And so the Zoom Towns article talked about the fact that people are skipping St. George. They're leapfrogging St. George because they're like, that's a little too big still. And they want to be here, or they want to go to Moab, or they want to go to wherever. I mentioned Boulder, Colorado. Okay. Grand Junction, right? Grand Junction is horribly ugly, kind of.
It
But
is, but still.
It's not any worse than Rachel, Nevada.
okay.
Hey,
Is that where you're
back
from?
off of.
Is that
Oh,
where you're
no.
from, man?
That is his
That's his
retirement
dream.
plan.
Yeah.
But as long as there's a strong Wi-Fi, anybody can work anywhere now. And that's the glorious thing about people influxing into Southern Utah is, again, a love-hate relationship with the
Mhm.
growth.
Mhm.
But because we have strong Wi-Fi, everybody wants to come here.
And it's
5G. I don't know.
Yeah.
And
Still
it's funny because we've been, some groups here in town have wired it up, and it's pretty hard for you to not have fiber where you are now.
Right. It really is. And so with that, all of those really cool things going on, everybody's like, well, I want to sell my house, but then you can't get into house because we're in a less than 30-day inventory already. Like we've been in a less than 30-day inventory for the last 3 months in Iron County.
I think I said, yesterday I was talking to some folks that we've got 60 properties in Iron County right now.
Yes.
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 The answer is yes. Because by the time you look at what says it's for sale, the reality is by the time you call on half those properties, that it was only previously for sale.
Right.
And yes, go
Because
ahead.
by the time you call, there's 3 things that are true in life. My friend shared this with me last week: death, taxes, and yes, there's already multiple offers on the property.
Yes, really
Right?
though.
True.
So here's because we're kind of, it's circuitous, but I think this is all important.
Oh, I'm sorry, props for use of the word circuitous.
Circuitous, thank you. Because it's like, thank you, man.
Good.
So Jesse, tell me if this is accurate. So all of a sudden, you have all these people coming from out of state. So you say, I'm going to go for sale by owner. And so if you're going to go for sale by owner, 2 things are going to happen. Number one, you're going to put a sign in your yard. You're going to go to Ace Hardware, because I love Ace Hardware. You're going to buy a $2 sign, and you're going to say, for sale by owner, no agents.
Yeah.
Call or text 123XYZ. Okay. Does that sound like a FSBO sign?
Oh,
Okay. So you have all the people who drive by your house. And then you say, but Jesse, I'm good. I can put my home on Zillow. Because your belief is Zillow is like a satellite orbiting the earth that captures every buyer.
Yeah.
Everybody knows.
Guys, I have news for you. That's not true.
Well, and it may be on Zillow, but.
By the
that
way, we only
doesn't
spend like
mean-
40 grand a year with Zillow.
But that doesn't mean that everybody's going to see your listing on Zillow.
Yeah, they're not.
We've had properties that were on there for a week, and for whatever reason, I'll get a call. Hey, did this just hit the market? I've been looking for weeks. Why didn't this come up?
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that it's going to hit it. In fact, Zillow is one of those where if you don't pay them, they're not going to push it forward.
which again is that saving
It's-
mentality. You're not really saving
It's a
anything.
business.
Yes.
So here's your options. I can put a sign from Ace Hardware. Again, I'm just plugging Ace Hardware because that's where I go in St. George. The helpful.
We have one here too.
Yeah, I've been in it.
Oh,
I was in
okay.
there like a month ago. Well, here's what I love about Ace Hardware. Side note, you actually get help. But anyway,
There it is.
you can have your Ace Hardware for sale by owner sign and Zillow, or you can have, in St. George right now, we have 2,200 licensed realtors. In Cedar City, it was 600 a year ago. It's probably pushing 1,000.
Yeah.
And there's 15,000 plus on the Wasatch Front MLS. So let's just round up. I can have 20,000 agents in the state of Utah who control all the buyers, plus Zillow and all those things. Or I can have Zillow and assign them a yard.
Well, let's
So-
say
so-
95% of the buyers,
so-
because some of them are trying to work on their own.
Correct. So here's the question. How would you know, this is the question for everybody out there. How would you know that you got the most money for your home? This is an open-ended question. There is an answer to it. How would you be sure that you got the most money for your home? There's only one answer, by the way, so you can meander around. Does anyone even want to venture a guess?
I would always use a licensed real estate agent
Okay,
to
okay.
make sure that I got top dollar because they're advocating for me. I hire them as my advocate and making sure that my home is in proper condition to
Okay.
sell.
So I like that answer. Look, I'm gonna set you up this way. If I had a bowl of marbles, all of differing sizes, how would I know I got the largest marble out of the bowl? How would I know?
By looking at
Every single marble. Yeah. The only way you know that you got the most money for your home is knowing that every possible buyer saw the home. You cannot
Wow.
possibly guarantee that as a for sale by owner.
Right, there's just no way.
Isn't this fun?
So how much?
So honestly, I actually think we're putting an extra 5% in their pocket right now. I'm really
I think
convinced.
it's more than that. I just found.
5%, what's the average sales
This
price?
year,
What's the average sales price in Cedar City right now, Jesse?
300, let me pull it up. Average sales price in Cedar
Median,
City.
give me the median.
Median is
He's got it. I had it up. But I'm looking at it.
287.
Median sales price.
287.
I believe we'll put an extra $14,350 in your pocket after you pay us. I just believe it.
And I think, I'd say it's more. I just found an article this year
Mhm.
for sale by owners, and this is nationwide, averaging 217,900. The average home sold by a real estate agent, 295,000.
Well,
Oh my
That
God.
is
I
actual
didn't
data.
do well at TC High with math. I can do that.
25%.
You know what I mean?
more.
25% more when you use a real estate agent, and especially in a buyer's market right now. It is,
And it goes back to.
sorry, seller's market.
It goes back to every possible buyer seeing your home. So if there's 100 buyers, say, for your type of home, and only 10 are seeing it,
You're
are
missing
you
out.
really getting the most money possible? I don't think so.
Even if you have to pay a slight commission, it's totally worth it to get that extra
I would think so.
25% more.
Let me give you a fun little anecdote. We had
I
a,
want to go back to
Yeah.
what you said, that you believe even after they pay you, you're
Absolutely.
gonna add
Yeah.
about a $14,000
yeah,
check.
I really do. I believe it. I had a fun one in St. George the other day. There was a seller who wanted to hire a discount brokerage by the name of Wong. I just bleeped it out. And the discount brokerage charges a little flat fee to put it in the MLS. And then they pay the agent who brings the buyer. And what did he want? Like 579 with them or 589? We got him 610.
Yeah.
And, right. So
Like without even
yeah,
trying.
I'm like, you didn't save any money. So, but let's bring this back for a minute. Can I? Somewhere?
Yes, we have about 2 more minutes.
Okay, 2 minutes. Jesse, the state of Cedar City real estate market summary year over year.
Mhm.
What's the state of it?
So the
How,
year-
what
year
has the
over
median
year-
sales price gone up in what in 12 months in Cedar City, Utah? Cedar, meaning Iron County.
Okay, the median sales price has gone up 20%.
Guys, if that went up 20% every year, it's 30.37%.
Is 30.37. Wow.
And what do we mean when we say there's 30 days of inventory? It means that if no one listed another home, then in 30 days, what?
Everything's gone.
It'll be
And there's really only 50 total houses.
So guys, it's just so critical that you work with a good professional. And this is what we always say in St. George on the St. George Real Estate Morning Drive. If it's not us, then call your friend here. I just heard one of the great agents in Cedar City run her ad. You just pitched her. She's a good agent. I actually know that about her.
Really good.
Then call your agent you trust. But for heaven's sake, the market has actually never been so complicated as right now. It's so weird, right? People are like, are you guys getting rich? I'm like, well, my agents are ready to pull their hair out if,
Right.
trying to transact business in a market where the median sales price has gone up 30.3% in 12 months in Old Iron County.
Well, right. And buyer's agents have to deal with so many multiple offers that it's ridiculous.
Brutal.
You know, and so going through the different sections and the different aspects of buying and selling and buying real estate, that's why we use licensed professionals. That's why myself, I am a licensed professional within insurance. And you use professionals because we are obligated, just like a doctor is obligated, to look out for your best interest.
Yeah, fiduciary duty is what we call it.
Yes, fiduciary duty
for
and
having us.
making
How do
sure.
folks get on to the Larkin Group?
Visit us, please, at gostgeorge.com. That's GOST George.com.
Thank you so much, Jeremy and Jesse, for joining us. This has been McKenna Hansen with Wired Wednesday. My number is,
It's kind of your show.
yes, my number is 435-592-2021, serving Southern Utah with all insurance needs.
Google her.
Yes, thank you.
She's been good, all right. See you next time.
See you.
Sadly, we now have to talk
Jeremy, you're the
to,
host. Do you want to end the meeting?
we now have to talk to Captain Craig. Did Craig interrupt your show down in St. George ever, Jeremy?
Occasionally.
Yeah.
I love Craig. Craig's my heroine.